Well, hey guys and gals, let's build part of the Orchid. I'm not sure how I'm going to split this apart yet. And yes, a black manual. This is just, I can't wait to see what this looks like in person. And I'm just going to take my time. There may be several videos, but here it is. Talks a little bit about this, and just going to skim through it real quick. I'm sure you can download this from the official LEGO website. From the design team. I see we had an engineer put this together. Well, I could build my own stuff without even have to engineer it. So we do have 4 bags. Looks like the pot is in 2 of these right here. So I may focus on just this part for this video, and in the next video I'm going to do these 2 pieces here. So, and we'll start here. So, I think this is bag 1 and bag 2. No, I'm not sponsored by them. I just use them for housing parts. So, well, obviously that's bag 2. We'll go back and I'll show you. And yes, I dump them out when I do the brick explorations. So let's go back and make sure. Let's doubly make sure. So obviously this is bag 2. We'll put that. Set that somewhere for a later build. And the colorful stuff right here, which is this, is bag 1. And we get a brick separator too. I'm old school. I have to pour it out on a table. Some guys, they have those fancy sorting trays. Yeah, this is my fancy sorting tray here, and family and friends give those to me, and I don't have to spend a dime on them. It's more money for parts. I need parts to make some more MOCs and tutorials for you guys and gals, so I can share my ideas. Okay. So, I finally figured out what the embargo date is. And it's a date where we can release our findings to you guys and gals. Well, by the time you watch this, I'm already there. So I'll put that in there. Oh, that's really going to annoy the parents, huh? Well, I'm an adult, so yeah, we'll set that down there. Really press that down good. Okay. And you all know how I am with these. I like to goof off while I'm building, so we'll just do that and make it a little more interesting. I need to find a few more of these. These will make great checker pieces. So this is going to be used to, of course, build the pot. And honestly though, for myself, such as an adult, this is an expert set, so it's intended for adults anyways. Nice bright colorful pieces, and I really don't care who says what, or you know, colors are for children. I'm an adult, full-grown adult, and I like colorful builds. I don't like stuff that looks bland. I want something bland. Well, yeah, I'll go look out my window. Let's see here. Alright, so far so good. And we have regular friction pins and 1x1 bricks. We got to make 4 of these. And where these go is facing outwards. Something I've never really do. Although this is kind of inspiring me to make something else from this already. I think the colors are meant to help a builder kind of stay on track. You know, so how's the build quality so far, Jay? Well, we'll find out together. So by the time you're watching this, and well, if you ever get a set and you watch this, you can actually build along with me too. Alright, so we get some white tiles and put white tiles on that. Well, what a waste, huh? Felt like something was underneath there. I need to redo this table eventually. I've been kind of toying around the idea making this a a flippable table where the other side is wood grain. Plus, I need to make this table a bit larger. I've been thinking about building a full, complete light box, but not really sure yet. Alright, so that's a lot of parts there. Okay, that's how they do that up there. Okay, so I guess we set that off to the side and grab another one of these. If you want to make an island in the middle of an ocean, there you go. That's how you do it. Alright, stick that on there. Does this one click too? Oh yeah. I bet if I did that for an hour, I bet that thing would get lots of views on YouTube. Okay. ASMR at its finest. So, yes, that is blue-green Technic bricks. So now, you know what? If I'm going to be pressing on this, why don't I put this way here? I don't think it really matters, but so far as it keeping my interest, yes. I kind of want to see how this goes. I'm always in for new building techniques and stuff, so sets like this that are creator experts, like seeing how this is built, I may not use this in its form, but I may be able to use some of the steps to build my own MOCs and creations. Yeah, and I'll tell you, it's getting pretty warm outside. I've been hitting in the high 90s, and it's April, so what does that tell you? And then we had one day it's already been 100. I think this summer they say we might be topping out at 115, 120 degrees. So yeah, that sounds very fun, doesn't it? Back east I hear people complain about the rain. It's always cloudy and gloomy. Well, out here it's 300 plus days of sunshine. And after a while that does get a little boring. And I don't have these tiles in black. So I guess that's what they're for. It's almost like we're building a like part of a spaceship or something. Okay. And then we stack that on top of that. Honestly, that looks pretty colorful. Hardly we're going to hide that, because this is what it's going to look like right here. Very dark on that box. And on here it's very bright and colorful, so yeah, even with my scratch banged up Lego table. Now we got to build a third one of these. Grab another one. I think in this session we're going to do the flower pot. Oh yeah, ASMR right there. Maybe I'll have to buy us 2 of those and just do that for 1 whole hour. I don't know. I know some say I should just do straight ASMR on these and just, like, not talk, just grabbing stuff like that. But for me, you know, I'll just go sleep in a factory then. You know, and but here, you know, you can hear me talk and vent and whatever. Honestly, the lime green and the orange really go well together. Kind of reminds me of, it's like summer colors. And then we're going to cover it all up with gloom. Kind of wish that it made this pot maybe a different color. Probably trying to make it look realistic. Okay. I'm going to say, why don't they just have us make 2 of these? Unless they're slightly different, but so far I'm seeing the same thing. Did we find a boo-boo in the build? But of course I'm not done yet, so I don't know. Can always use extra ones of those. Those make great trees if they were brown, like for branches and stuff. A lot of tree builders do that. So that's what they use. And I'll tell you, it's so nice to sit down on something now to do these. Cause I'm perpendicular to the camera, so I could still see the viewfinder. It's right here, and then I can actually make sure I'm still in frame, and that doesn't go there. So I can easily see where everything's at. Uh-oh, did I put this wrong? I did. Okay, so I gotta have to take that apart and move it. Or you know what? These are actually the same thing. Okay. So I'll put this one at the bottom. So what they could have done, and I didn't really see a difference in this step here. So I don't know, but they could have saved some time and said just build 2 of these, and I could have just set them up and like a little assembly line and go from there. I'm not sure why these are flat tiled. Huh. Maybe to save parts or something, I don't know. But I ain't gonna complain, because guess what? I can use those parts. These both look the same. I'm just going to shove this one down here, and now I got the picture to match. What is this, like a combination lock? It's almost like a Rubik's Cube, except it's round. Alright, so it looks like the picture so far. Yeah. Okay, well, let's see what else we got here. Probably the last one we got to build. That's just colorful looking. We're going to hide all that? Yeah, there we go. Let's get this out of here. Okay. I still haven't got your guys and gals input if you like these videos, because when I film everything, I film it in advance. You know, except for like Q&As. Usually I try not to do Q&As too much so I can answer questions in later sessions and such. Yeah, kind of miss going camping, going in the outdoors. So I'm kind of on a frenzy lately, fixing up my backyard, making things a little bit more pleasant. So I don't know if anybody remembers my outdoor reviews. I used to do outdoor reviews. I used to take a set outside, and you know, nothing better than having the natural sunlight hit the set, and just brings out the colors better than, like, I have a warm LED bulb in here, 150 watt, and you know, daylight just seems like it does a better job, because that's natural light versus artificial light. Well, just like the picture, so far we're doing pretty good. I really want to see how this is built, so yes, so when I do the review, it is keeping my interest. I really want to see this pot be put together. Alright, I know one thing I'm going to do, stop my camera and save my progress. Never know. And then that is it. I'm assuming the plant goes inside of there. Well, let's set that right on top there, if we can. I gotta make sure all these are lined up here, so it looks just like the picture. You know, always when you do this type of stuff, always compare it with the picture. And then now we got to put some Technic bricks. Oh, I see what the colors are for. I guess we're going to match up the colors. I guess to make the build a little bit more easier. Well, so we're actually going to have to rotate. Oh, well, how silly of me. Look, step 9. Rotate. I got to do that with mine one day. So we'll put it like this. It's almost like a combination lock. So these sit on like that. So now the combination lock has been locked permanently. See, some of these are not going in all the way, so I'm going to have to, let's do this here. Or maybe it's not meant to go in all the way. Maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Alright, so I put this in here. So I'm taking it that this, there we go, now it's snapped all the way in. So we're going to have to do it like that. Alright, so see, sometimes you just have to line up the picture. So everything here, well, well, it's brittle right now. It's a brittle build. I bet if you put all this in here, it won't be anymore. All right, I think we're safe, and it's still a little wiggly. Let's see what else we got here. Well, they show these together. Huh. Oh, silly me. Okay, so this goes here, and this goes here. Okay, so once you get the first few put in there, it goes pretty darn easily. So what we're doing is we're just lining up colors. So I think the reason why the designers did this is for it to make sense. Something I never thought about doing was color coding parts of a build. So I'm assuming that this side here, when we flip it over, it's the same thing. See? So you got to do the same thing on the back side too. So yeah, kind of looks like a water wheel, like a paddle wheel. So just take your pieces at this point, and we just line them up by color. So it's not too bad. That's pretty easy, I mean, anybody can do this. If you say you can't do Lego sets like this, well, it's color coded so far. Still a little wiggly, but I'm sure it'll strengthen up once we get the sides put on here. And I don't think it matters what color. Let's say you misplace a color in here. Does it really matter? Honestly, I don't think it's going to make a big deal if you put the color in the wrong place, because these are all the same size. So, it ain't really going to matter. Just for the, for your entertainment, let's just do it the correct way that the instructions tell us. In the Lego movie, you have to follow the instructions, right? In Jaystifer Land, you don't have to follow the instructions. You can build it any way you wish. At the end of the day, if you enjoy building, that's all that matters. That's what this hobby's about, is just putting things together. And then that looks pretty good. Looks like a filter to a car or for a vacuum. So we're going to need to make 3 of these guys here. And then 1 down here. Alright. So we'll prepare these now. The 4th one uses the same bracket too. And we will just mass produce these together. And then there we go. And hold on, I am going to crack open a window. It is getting toasty in here. I have been filming non-stop, so yeah. I can't tell what kind of part that is there. Unless it's that. I mean, obviously there's 3 of them, so I guess it is. It looks like it. It's the bad thing about Technic, you just don't know until you start putting things together. We can survive this. I know we can survive part 2. Alright, I may just do these in separate videos, but I don't know yet. Haven't thought about that. That requires me to think. I've already done enough of that at work. I don't need to do that in my spare time. And I see what's going on now, so. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I put these together wrong. Okay, so it's like this, and they just kind of attach in there. Alright, see, that's why I said sometimes it's hard to tell on here, especially when it's dark colors. So just pop that out and swap it around. And then stick those in there. And then this one here goes here. Haven't got to the fun stuff yet, the sides. I want to see how that goes together. And then we stack, or we don't stack, we place 4 of these. And I'm going to be honest with you, Lego, you need to change this color. When I write my manuals up, I don't use this. If it's a dark background, I'll use light. If it's like a dark brick, I'll use a light color. If I'm using like blue, because I usually use blue for my outlines, I don't. So, yeah. But they are designers, so they know what they're doing. Well, if I'm having a hard time following along, I know somebody else will. That's why when I do my building guides, you know, I always kind of look at it from another person's perspective. Are they going to be able to make sense out of this? I know because I built the model. But if they don't know, they never built my model before. That's the first time they're building, so they won't really know. And the Technic nail goes in. Okay, so this goes in the center here. And how far does the nail go down in there, huh? How are we going to know? Well, before we start pounding things in, it goes in all the way. So let's pop that down in there. Uh-oh, something's binding. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it looks just like the picture. We're going to go ahead and just continue on with bag 2. This is the only piece that was left. So, okay, so let's grab the next container. We're just going to go and pack these in here. I'm going to pause and save my memory. Okay, now let's get going here. Yes, it is sand blue. Let's see what we got in here. Oh yeah. And I had found out something very interesting, that these are new. So I always could use those. Actually, I have several MOCs that need those. Well, I can't. 32 of those. So guess what we're going to have to do? Make ourselves comfortable and place them in the 2nd and 5th holes, or the 6th hole. You need 32 of those. So, yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of little pieces, and no, don't commit yourself pushing those in too. If you're not sure, just tack it in. I mean, you could pull one of those out if you want to. Matter of fact, I know what this reminds me of. Okay, I used to do a lot of vintage TV repair. Well, now it's considered vintage, and we used to have rotary tuners or turret tuners. And each one of these little sticks would have springs and stuff, you know, for inductors and coils and springs, so you can, you know, set the tuning frequency for the desired television station. Mind, this is all for analog TV. And that's what it reminds me of. And usually, sometimes one of these would go bad, so we would take the customer's TV, we would just pop one of these out and put a new one in. Yeah, we would try to repair the existing one. But that's what it reminds me of now. Well, this bag here doesn't have too many colors. Looks like it's just gray, sand blue, and red. Pretty much all that it is. Yeah, hands are getting red. You gotta do that 32 times. So, yeah. Just to be honest with you guys and gals, if this is a set that you don't want to put together small pieces, it's going to be forewarned that it will be. And this is, when I do the builds and stuff like that, this is what I always say on these. It's like, it gets redundant. That's what I'm doing now. You could have also done them on these too and then put those in there. But of course, that's more steps. I think they're trying to compact steps like what I do. Well, we're just about there. I see the red on the other side, so we're getting close to it here. We're getting close. And the next step after this is these. Let me just snap those in there. But we'll get this last one in here so we don't go OCD on this one. Okay, so they show here that these all line up to one another. So we'll see here. So the first one obviously spins. And I think the reason why they did this is so they can offset it. So there you go. I think the more we put in here, the stronger it's going to get, kind of, in a way. And that would oh man, if that's 32, I hate to think we're going to have to do this other stuff, 16. Yeah, we're going to probably have to do 16 side pieces for the pot. Okay. Put that right together. Snap that right in place. Get that going really good. See, and you know, when I talk about is the build interesting, you know, you can see like how I'm being, you know, how my interest is, like I want to work on this. I want to build this. So obviously, like right now, I don't want to stop. When I was doing a Minecraft set, I was like, oh, I got to hurry and get this done. Now this is something that I kind of want to see put together. Making sure I'm still in frame here for you guys and gals. So this is like the build process. I think we have one extra. Let me put that in my bin. And I got one more. Usually it's always the last ones are the hard ones. But no, I mean, that's pretty seamless there. Okay. So now we're going to have to make 30 of those. And, whoa, camera's shaky. So I guess they start you off with one. You put it in like that. It's actually 32. I thought there'd be 16. So we come in here. And guess what? We're going to have to make 32 of these. And they go right on here like that. Is that pretty sturdy? Yeah, somewhat. I think we may have to put a few more on there. So we'll just make a few of these and set them on there as we go. Now, if you need rich pieces, this set has got you covered. Obviously, it gives you 32 of these. So, that's pretty cool. We'll make 3 of these and then we'll start from there. You may see gnats or something flying around. For some reason, they're still getting through my screens. So, may have to rescreen the house. I know how to make my own window screens. They're not hard to do. It's just time consuming. I'm trying to get it. I'm thinking about getting an aluminum screen versus the nylon stuff. But I'm thinking about also getting a screen to that reflects light away. Because it just so happens my Lego room is in the front of the house, so, which is facing the south side. And it's obviously not good for Lego bricks. I try to keep the curtains in here drawn at all times. If it's an overcast day or I want a little light, I'll crack them open a little bit, but you know, that kind of stuff. Alrighty, what am I doing here? So far, guys and gals, so it's good. I mean, this is going along great. Let's put these other ones on here too. So far that's the pot. And yeah, I mean, really, it's got a nice little texture to it too. And you know, when I first started, this thing felt pretty wiggly, but this is strong now. So this is pretty sturdy so far. So I'm pretty satisfied with this build. When I did the succulents, or if you haven't seen that one yet, of course I'm doing them in set order, like set number order. And that one wasn't too bad. Oh, I didn't build another one of those, huh? Well, I'm going to have to do more. Yeah, hearing people out here, they crack me up sometimes. They'll rev up their gas engines, and they're the same people that complain about gas prices so high. I'm like, well, why are you revving up your car engine? Oh, because it sounds cool. I'm like, well, it sounds cool, but it's also costs more too. I wouldn't be doing that. I'd rather use that extra stuff for buying parts. Alright. Yeah, so far so good, guys and gals. Matter of fact, they got an area around my house torn up anyways for they're widening out the roads, and they just dropped a 10 gigabyte internet out here. My service provider changed their rates. Matter of fact, I'm on a cheaper plan that offers twice or 10 times the speed. So I used to have 1 gigabyte internet, now we have 10 gigabyte out here because it's business. I'm in a business district. So yeah, we get the goodies. It's easy to upload videos, work from home. We have 7 internet providers in my area. Alright, so that feels really cool. This feels solid too. This is not, I thought this would break apart just by looking at the picture. No, this is really solid. And you land that, I'm gonna fist you there. Well, like that. Alright, let's get these going here. I got 16, well, I got 15 now to make. So yeah, if you not really into repetitious builds, yeah, this may be something you may want to stay away from. For me, now I know how it's built, I kind of want to see the finished product, so I really want to get the pot done, and then the next session we'll just take ourselves a little interlude break. Well, for me it'll be an interlude. I'll be working on a tutorial, then get some shut-eye, and then the next day we'll come in and build the rest of this. You'll be able to see these all in one day, you know, with the magic of YouTube. Okay. So yeah, this is something. Matter of fact, what you could do if you really wanted to, you can get if you get this set, you could actually have your family and friends help you put this together. If you had a couple of people helping you, they can each take a section of this, build these 4 discs, and then this. You could practically get this done in probably 20 minutes or so. If I'm sure that the flowers for the orchid are going to be repetitious as well. So we'll see when we get there. I got another 8 more of these to build. So looks pretty cool in there. It looks like part, you know, actually it looks like something you put on a plane or something, like a plane engine. Matter of fact, you know what this looks like? More and more. You know those 2x2 round profile bricks? That's what that looks like. And this is pretty heavy. It's pretty beefy, so yeah, a lot of plastic in there involved. I like the sand blue. Although I wish they would have made this pot a different color. I'm looking at this, it looked better yellow. Maybe with each one of these a different color, maybe. Maybe keep the sand blue, but also maybe put spring green. Maybe coral, or coral would look really snazzy for this, but you know, I don't think they would have gone that far. I'm in for bright colored builds. We went from bright, cheerful to a bland real quick in this build here. But we haven't put together the orchid yet, so the only thing we've done so far is this portion here. There we go. Almost there. Got one more left to assemble, and then we can put it all together, and then I can go Betty bye. See, there we go. Alright. I gotta go to bed earlier now on. You know, sometimes staying up late. Sometimes I go to bed 8 o'clock at night. That's usually when I'm just overloaded with work. Especially when you have a 10 or 12 hour day, usually it's like, I gotta go to bed early. So, if you're scared putting this together, as you can tell, nothing's falling apart. Once you actually put these plates in here and you put a few of these, this thing's locked in really good. Alright. Okay, so, honestly, it's really sturdy too. I mean, does one of these fall off real easily? Yeah, I mean, it's obviously going to come apart. They don't have pieces that fit in there, but I can see why they offset some stuff to make it fit. But there's the pot. So we're all done. And my hands are tired. Yeah, so I think that's time to take a breather. And bag 3 and 2 of these. So that's Lego math right there. So we did something with this with statistics. Here's the universe. Here's a subset. Is this a subset right here? I don't know. So yeah, well, we'll start with this in the next video. Thank you for watching.